Let's begin with a breath you don't have to earn. In through the nose, slow, and out through the mouth, softer than a sigh. Nothing to prove here. No tests. Just a quiet night and a place to set your heart down. If you've been decoding silences, rereading messages, or holding your shoulders like armor, welcome. Tonight is not about perfecting yourself or fixing anyone else. It's about noticing the kind of love that lets you rest and getting honest about what steadiness actually feels like. The love we're speaking of doesn't audition. It doesn't flood you with promises and fade when the music stops. It shows up small, steady, and on time. It sounds like a call because he misses you. No speech attached. It looks like presence that respects your peace and holds the quiet with you. It feels like being chosen without having to strain to be kept. Think of this session as a bridge. On one side, the ache of guessing, the weight of trying to be enough. On the other, a clear, low-drama understanding of care, what it is and what it is not. We will cross gently. First, we will name the quiet signs of being cherished. Then we will echo those signs back into choices, boundaries that keep your heart safe and open. For now, soften the jaw. Let the breath grow a little heavier, the mind a little lighter. Let your shoulders drop by a small, merciful degree. You are allowed a love that doesn't make you perform strength. You are allowed to simply be gentle, honest enough. As we begin, whisper to yourself, I am worthy of a love that is steady, kind, and clear. Real care is not a headline. It's a rhythm. The first quiet sign of being cherished is consistency. Small, repeatable actions that arrive without fanfare and keep arriving when life is ordinary, not just when he is inspired, not just when the mood is romantic, not just after a disagreement when guilt is high, but on Tuesdays, in traffic, between errands, across months. Consistency feels like this. He does what he says he'll do, and if something changes, he tells you before you have to chase the answer. He follows up after a hard day because he remembers, not because you reminded him. He doesn't disappear into long silences and call it space. He respects your peace without withholding his presence. You don't have to decode him. You don't have to brace for the drop. When a man truly cherishes you, reliability becomes a kind of warmth. plans are made with room for your reality, not just his convenience. He chooses language that matches his behavior. He doesn't borrow tomorrow's promises to cover today's absence. The message underneath all of it is simple and steady. You can lean here. Notice how your body responds to consistency. The shoulders lower without asking permission. The breath deepens on its own. Doubt grows quiet because it has nothing to feed on. You're not measuring the distance between words and actions anymore. You're living inside their alignment. Consistency isn't perfection. He will have off days. You will too. Cherishing shows in what happens next. A quick repair, a clear check-in, an apology that isn't theatrical, but timely and specific. He doesn't punish with coldness, doesn't craft uncertainty to keep leverage, doesn't make you audition for reassurance. He treats steadiness as care, not as a chore. If you want a simple way to see it, ask yourself, do I know roughly what to expect from him this week? Can I name how he usually shows up when I'm tired, busy, or quiet? Do his patterns make my life softer or tighter? The answers won't shout, but they will be truthful. Consistency is love's everyday handwriting. You recognize it not by grand phrases, but by the familiar curve of each letter. Texts that check in because he wants to be close. Plans that take shape because he values your time. A presence that meets you where you are and keeps meeting you there. When the rhythm is real, you don't have to cling. You just find yourself resting. The second quiet sign is listening. The kind that makes space instead of taking it. It is not a performance of nods while he waits for his turn. It is a tension that lands and stays. When you speak, he doesn't reach for a spotlight or a shortcut. He lets your meaning unfold at your pace, even when the words arrive slowly. Real listening sounds like simple, steady questions. Do you want comfort, curiosity, or solutions? It looks like eyes that don't wander and a phone that stays face down. He reflects what he hears without editing the parts that are inconvenient. He doesn't rescue you from your feelings or cross-examine them. He lets the silence breathe because he trusts that your heart will find its sentence. You can feel this kind of listening in your body. Your shoulders unlock. Your breath lengthens. You're not competing with his story about the same thing, not being corrected mid-sentence, not being told to calm down when calm is exactly what listening would create on its own. He resists the urge to fix you so he can stay with you. Details matter here. He remembers the name of the co-worker who drains you and the appointment you were dreading on Thursday. He circles back the next day. How did it go? Not to check a box, but because your inner world is real to him. Your vulnerabilities do not become props in the next argument. What you share with him stays safe with him. When he misses the mark, as everyone does, he repairs without drama. I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Please keep going. He doesn't defend the interruption. He restores the flow. He knows that the point of listening is not to be right, but to help you feel heard, steady, and less alone. Notice the difference between listening that shrinks you and listening that lets you breathe. After you talk to him, do you feel clearer or smaller? Do your feelings get named or negotiated away? Does the pause feel like pressure or permission? Real listening leaves you with more room on the inside. Listening, at its best, is a quiet vow. Your heart matters here, even when it speaks softly. With a man who cherishes you, that vow turns into a habit, one you can trust when the day has been too loud and you need a place where words can arrive without hurry. The third quiet sign is presence, the kind that steadies a room without taking it over. He doesn't crowd you to prove devotion, nor vanish to create desire. He stands near enough to be felt, far enough to let you breathe. You can sense his care even when no words are needed. Presence shows up in small, practical ways. He texts if he's running late, so your mind doesn't have to wander. He asks, "Do you want company or space tonight?" and believes your answer. He brings a calm body into stressed moments, feet on the ground, voice low, attention available. You don't have to manage his reactions while you're managing your own. This presence respects boundaries. Your no is not a negotiation, and your later isn't punished with distance. He doesn't use silence as a leash or attention as a currency. When conflict happens, he stays findable. "I'm here. I just need 10 minutes to cool down, and I'll come back." He returns when he said he would return. Notice how safety feels around him. Your nervous system stops scanning. Your thoughts stop spiraling into what-ifs. You can focus on what's actually happening instead of bracing for the next sharp turn. His steadiness becomes a reference point, subtle but unmistakable, like knowing the shore is there, even when the tide is loud. Presence also looks like care for your world. He learns the names and rhythms that matter to you. The friend you check on, the class you love, the errands that drain you. He doesn't rescue you from your life. He joins you inside it. He carries what he can carry and doesn't shame what you can't. There's no performative heroics. He doesn't fix problems to earn points or post gestures for an audience. He pays attention to what genuinely helps. A glass of water on the desk, a ride when you're spent, quiet beside you while emails get done. His help arrives sized to your need, not to his image. When he falters, as everyone does, his presence returns with repair, not justification. I pulled away yesterday and left you hanging. I'm sorry. Here's what I'll do differently next time. He doesn't make you chase closure. He brings it to you, and with it, the ground under your feet. Ask yourself, after time with him, do I feel more regulated or more on edge? Do I plan my words like a performance or speak like a person? Do I trust that he will be reachable when it matters? Presence that protects your peace will keep answering yes, quietly, consistently, and without being asked. This is the heartbeat of being cherished. Not noise, not spectacle, but a reliable nearness. With him, you don't have to hold yourself together to be held. You get to soften and still be safe. The fourth quiet sign is gratitude. Active appreciation that turns into small, steady investments. He doesn't treat your presence as background music. He notices what you carry, names it without prompting, and meets appreciation with action. Rest, I'll take this part, followed by actually taking it. Real gratitude is specific. He thanks you for the things that are easy to overlook, the ride you arranged, the call you made, the way you softened a hard moment. He remembers your care languages and speaks them on ordinary days. Tea left by your desk, a text that says, home. When he knows the commute was heavy, a plan made around your energy instead of his convenience. There is no scoreboard. He doesn't log favors to cash in later or offer help with an invoice attached. Gratitude for him is not leverage. It's atmosphere. You feel it in the way he makes room for your work, your rest, your friendships, your solitude, without resentment, without the quiet tax of guilt. This thankfulness shows up in how he includes you in his future. Not grand declarations, but clear, practical alignment, syncing calendars, asking your input before commitments that touch both lives, holding space for your goals even when they require his flexibility. He treats we as something to steward, not to assume. Gratitude also shapes conflict. When you bring a hard truth, he leads with, "Thank you for telling me," not with defense. When he missteps, he adds appreciation to apology. "I see how much you tried to keep things steady today. Thank you. I'm adjusting here." Repair lands deeper because it's grounded in what he values about you, not just what he wants to stop hurting. You can hear authentic gratitude in the ordinary tone of his voice. There's no performative flourish, no audience required. He doesn't post the gesture, he repeats it. Over time, those repetitions become a felt safety. You are not being tolerated. You are being chosen. Ask yourself, do I feel seen for the invisible work I do? Do his thank yous arrive as patterns, not one-time events? Do I sense I'm a person to cherish, not a role to fill? Quiet gratitude will keep answering yes, through presence, through follow-through, through the small and faithful ways he keeps choosing you. Pause with me, just for a moment. Let your shoulders drop one small degree. Let the tongue rest against the floor of your mouth. Feel the chair hold you, the ground hold the chair, and the earth hold it all. You don't have to do anything right now. Let the breath come as it wishes, arriving, leaving, arriving again. If your mind is busy, that's all right. Imagine thoughts like boats on a slow river. You're sitting on the bank. You don't chase them. You watch them pass. Name what is here softly. Breath, warmth, tension, release. Each word is a light that turns on in a quiet room. Now, bring to mind one small moment from part 1, a sign that felt true in your body. Maybe it was a text that arrived on time, an apology that repaired quickly, the way he asked what you needed before assuming. Hold that moment the way you'd hold a cup of warm tea. Let its heat settle in your hands. Notice what this memory does inside you. Does the chest loosen? Does the jaw unclench? Let that bodily yes be your compass. Your nervous system recognizes what your mind sometimes doubts. Steadiness feels like safety. If another memory surfaces that was not steady, a promise that thinned out, a silence that stung, place it on the river too. You do not have to fix it here. Simply acknowledge that happened and let the current carry it a little farther from your ribs. As we cross this bridge from noticing to choosing, take one more easy breath. Whisper to yourself, I can ask for what helps love last. I can keep what is kind and release what is unkind. When you're ready, we'll step into part 2, where these quiet signs turn into clear choices, ways of speaking, holding boundaries, and tending a love that is gentle, honest, enough. We cross the bridge by naming what helps love last. Clarity is not sharpness. It is kindness with edges. When you speak your needs plainly, you give love a shape it can hold. Begin simple and specific. Trade vague hopes for clear requests. Not be more present, but could we have a 10-minute check-in by 9 p.m. on weekdays? Not communicate better, but if plans change, please text before the start time, so I'm not left guessing. Clarity reduces the distance your mind has to travel. Use a gentle, steady frame. When you observable action, I feel one or two emotions. I need value. Could we specific, doable request with a when, how? Examples. When you go quiet for days, I feel anxious and unimportant. I need predictability. Could we agree on a same-day reply, even if it's just, I'm swamped, back tonight? When we only see each other spontaneously, I feel like a backup plan. I need shared time I can count on. Could we set 2 anchored evenings a week for the next month and review? When I share something hard and the topic switches, I feel alone. I need listening before solutions. Could you ask, do you want comfort, curiosity, or fixes? And follow my answer. Clarity is measured, not maximal. One request at a time. Concrete, time-bound, checkable. Then pause and let him meet you. If he needs time, set a return point. Let's circle back tomorrow after work. Steadiness grows where expectations and reality can shake hands. Remember tone and body. Lower shoulders, soften jaw. Breathe low. Choose and instead of but. Present tense instead of always, never. Keep the spotlight on the pattern, not his character. You're building a bridge. not a case. If he cherishes you, clarity will feel like relief. He'll lean in, ask questions, and try it your way. You'll see micro adjustments soon, not someday. If he resists with fog, deflection, jokes, delay, stay kind and keep your edge. This matters to me. I'm asking because I want this to work. 2 self-checks before you close. Is my request something a caring adult could reasonably do this week? Do I have a simple way to notice if it's happening? And with warmth that doesn't erase the boundary. Thank you for trying this. It helps me feel close. Clarity, given and received, is how love learns your shape and chooses it on purpose. Boundaries are not walls. They are edges that make closeness safe. A boundary is a self-promise, what you will do to protect your peace and keep love honest. It is never a tool to control him. It is how you take loving responsibility for yourself so that the relationship has a steady floor to stand on. Think of a boundary as 4 parts working together. 1. What I value. The limit. 3. The request. 4. My action if the limit is crossed. Example, I value predictability. The limit, going more than a day without a reply, leaves me anxious. The request, could we keep same-day check-ins, even if it's just busy? More tonight? My action, if we pass 24 hours without contact, I will pause planning and only resume when we've reconnected. Boundaries sound like I will, not you must. They protect your behavior, not his. They're calm, specific, and enforceable by you. A simple template. When X happens, I feel Y. I need Z. If X continues, I will do A for this long, and we can try again at B. Use tiers to keep things grounded. Green boundaries, daily maintenance. Sleep and timing. I don't take heavy conversations after 11 p.m. If something flares, I'll pause and return tomorrow after work. Communication cadence. If plans change, please text ahead. If I don't hear by start time, I'll continue with my evening and we can reschedule. Personal time. I keep Sunday mornings for myself. I'm happy to see you afternoon. Amber boundaries. Protective during friction. Timeouts. If voices rise or sarcasm enters, I will take a 20-minute break and come back at 4:40. Lateness. If arrival is more than 30 minutes late without an update, I'll leave and we'll pick a new time. Content overload. If we're circling the same point for 15 minutes, I'll suggest we write it down and return after dinner. Red boundaries, non-negotiables. Verbal abuse, threats. Or contempt, end the conversation immediately. If contempt shows up, mocking, name-calling, I will end the call, leave the room, and only resume when respect is back on the table. Broken trust patterns, like chronic lying, shift the relationship to a repair plan with clear timelines, or to an exit. Boundaries here are decisive and paired with support. Create a repair-friendly pause you both recognize. Pause. Promise. Return. Pause. I'm overheating. I'm going to step outside for 15. Promise. I'll be back at 7:45. Return. I'm here, ready to listen. Let's try slower. Notice how boundaries cooperate with clarity from part 2. 1. Clarity sets the request. Boundaries define your follow-through. Together, they remove guesswork. He doesn't have to read your mind. You don't have to police his. You simply live your commitments and let reality answer. A few boundary skills that help love last. Name the minimums. Agree on a handful of floor behaviors. Timely updates, a same-day touch point, findable during emergencies, no silent treatment, repair within 24-48 hours after a rupture. Minimums keep the nervous system from running the whole show. Protect tenderness with structure. Schedule a weekly 20-minute check-in with 2 questions. 1. What felt good between us this week? 2. What would make next week gentler? This isn't therapy, it's maintenance. Boundaries thrive in rhythms. Keep consequences natural, not punitive. If he forgets the update, you proceed with your plan. If the conversation turns sharp, you pause and return on time. You don't punish, you practice your promise. Measure reality, not intentions. Ask yourself, what has actually changed in the last 2 weeks? Can I feel the difference in my body? Boundaries measure outcomes, not speeches. Hold warmth and edge together. You can be kind and exact at once. I love what we're building, and this part isn't working for me. Here's what I need. Here's what I'll do to keep us steady. And if a boundary reveals misalignment, that information is care too. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for love is refuse to let it be confused. A clear no makes room for a truer yes, either from the same person with new steadiness or from a future that can meet you where you live. Ask yourself, softly, Which single boundary, practiced this week, would give my heart the most rest? Choose one. Keep it small. Keep it real. Then keep it. Love doesn't need perfection. It needs repair that arrives on time and lands where it hurts. Repair is how two people come back to each other after a rupture, without theatrics, without winner-loser, without leaving splinters. Think of repair as 5 steady moves. 1. Regulate. Calm the body so the words can help. 2. Reflect. Notice what just happened in you and between you. 3. Recognize. Name the impact on your partner, not your intention. 4. Repair. Own it. Apologize cleanly and offer a specific adjustment. 5. Reconnect. Agree on one small next step and a check-in time. A clean apology has 4 parts. I did said behavior. I see it landed as for you, impact. I'm sorry, no excuse. Next time I will. Concrete change. Is there anything I missed? Examples, small and real. I went silent after your message. That likely felt like rejection. I'm sorry. Next time I'll text, I saw this. Need an hour to think, and set a time to respond. I joked when you needed care. That minimized you. I'm sorry, I'll ask, do you want comfort or solutions before I speak? I arrived late and didn't update you. That made your evening tighter. I'm sorry. If I'm running past 10 minutes, I'll message and offer to reschedule. Micro repairs in the moment. Let me try that again. Can I rewind 30 seconds? I interrupted you. Please continue. I'm getting heated. I want to be kind. Give me 10 minutes and I'll come back. When you pause, make it safe. Name the pause. I'm flooded. Give a time. Back at 7:45. Return on time. I'm here, ready to listen. If you miss the time, that misses the repair. Own it and reset quickly. Common repair traps to avoid. The but apology. I'm sorry, but erases the sorry. Impact swap. Talking about your pain instead of the harm you caused. Weaponized timeouts. Leaving to punish, not to regulate. Over-explaining. Turning the repair into a defense brief. Grand gestures, no change. Performance over pattern. Measure whether repair is working by what your nervous systems can feel. Are ruptures getting shorter, softer, and less frequent? Do you return faster and kinder? Does the topic stay on the table without dread? Are the new behaviors showing up unprompted? If repair keeps failing, shrink the ask. One behavior, one scene, 1 week. I'll send a thinking of you text by lunch on work days this week. Friday, we'll review how it felt. Tiny, trackable promises rebuild trust like bricks. Small, square, and steady. And remember, repair is a two-way street. But it can start with one person. Lead with clarity, hold your boundary, and model the apology you wish to receive. The right partner will meet you on that bridge, not with perfect words, but with better patterns. Love lasts on purpose when you give it small structures to live inside. Think of 3 anchors: rhythms, rituals, and reviews. Rhythms, gentle, repeatable cadences that reduce guesswork. Daily, a 10-minute check-in before 9 p.m. 2 prompts: what felt good today? What would help tomorrow be gentler? Midweek touch point: how's your load? Swap 1 practical help each. After conflict rhythm: pause, return at a set time. Offer 1 concrete change for next time. Rituals, tiny, tender signatures that say, we choose us. Hello, goodbye. A real hug, 6 breaths, no phones. It tells the body, we're on the same side. Pre-sleep debrief. 1 appreciation, 1 small ask for tomorrow. Commute. Text. Thinking of you, or a photo from the day. Low effort, high signal. Co-presence. 30 minutes side by side doing ordinary things. Emails, dishes, folding. No fixing, just nearness. Reviews, clear moments to steer instead of drift. Weekly 20-minute counsel. What worked? What needs a tweak? Pick 1 experiment for the coming week. Monthly state of us. 45 to 60 minutes. Look at patterns, not incidents. Keep what's kind, retire what's not. Quarterly micro-retreat, half day. Screens off, walk, shared meal. 2 decisions for the next quarter. Shared language that protects connection. Choice word for overwhelm, e.g., yellow. When spoken, both slow down, shorter sentences, softer tone, more pauses. Repair shortcuts. Let me try that again. Interrupted you. Please continue. Back at 40. Preference check. Comfort, curiosity, or solutions. Before responding to a tender share. Load sharing that respects reality. Map the invisible work once, Then rebalance one item per week. Appointments, planning, emotional labor. Use offer plus own. I can take groceries this month and keep Thursdays free for you. A gratitude loop that doesn't feel performative. Daily 30 seconds. Thank you for hints. I noticed ox. It helped me. Specific beats grand. Keep it private. Repeat it often. Gratitude is safety, not spectacle. When the rhythm slips, choose the next right thing. Name it without drama. We dropped our check-ins. Restart small. Tonight, 5 minutes. One appreciation. One ask. Track the feeling, not the scoreboard. Do our bodies feel safer this week? Simple self-checks. Can I roughly predict how we connect this week? Is there a place our hard moments go to be repaired? Do our rituals make room for both of our lives? Rituals are not chores. They're the scaffolding that lets tenderness keep climbing. With steady rhythms, clear reviews, and tiny daily vows, you don't have to hold the relationship together. Your shared practices do. This is how two people keep choosing each other on purpose, in a way both hearts can trust. Set the day down. Let your hands rest in your lap as if they've been carrying something precious. And they have. You have carried your own heart through noise and guessing, and the work of telling the truth. That is no small thing. Remember what you learned tonight. Real love is quiet proof. It arrives as consistency you can feel. Listening that hears the unsaid. Presence that protects your peace. And gratitude that keeps choosing you. It stays steady, not because you demand it, but because steadiness is its nature. Carry forward the simple tools that help tenderness last. Speak needs with kindness and edges. Hold boundaries that keep closeness clear. Repair quickly and specifically, and tuck love inside small rituals that repeat. None of this requires perfection. It asks for practice, patience, and a willingness to begin again, together. If doubt stirs, return to what your body knows. Safety feels like breath that doesn't have to fight for room. It feels like plans that happen when they're said, like eyes that stay when you're speaking, like a thank you that becomes action. Let your nervous system be part of your wisdom. It has been telling the truth longer than your mind has been explaining it. If you stand at a threshold, keep or let go. trust the information your boundaries reveal. The right person will meet you where clarity lives. The wrong one will try to move the furniture of your needs. Either way, you are not hard to love. You are simply learning to love in a way that doesn't make you disappear. Before you go, place one small promise in your week, a 5-minute check-in, a gentle, "How's your load?" A quick repair phrase you'll reach for when voices rise. Let it be small and true. Let it be enough. Now soften the jaw. Let the breath come and go without supervision. Whisper, even if only in your mind. Am worthy of a love that is steady, kind, and clear. I can ask for what helps love last. I can keep what is gentle and release what is unkind. I am allowed to be gentle, honest, enough. May your night be a soft landing. May your days grow quieter inside. And may the love that is meant for you recognize you by the peace that settles when it arrives. You've done enough for tonight. To help the work settle, give yourself 2 quiet minutes. Unclench the jaw, roll the shoulders once, sip water, and breathe low and easy. 7 small steps, 1 per day. Day 1, notice. Write 1 quiet sign you already receive. Consistency, listening, presence, gratitude. Keep it visible. Day 2, clarity. Turn 1 vague hope into a single specific request you can try this week. Day 3, boundary. Choose 1 calm "I will" boundary that protects your peace. Practice the sentence out loud. Day 4, repair. Pick a repair phrase you'll use next time. Tension rises. Let me try that again. Or, back at 40. Day 5, ritual. Add a 5-minute evening check-in. 1 appreciation. 1 small ask for tomorrow. Day 6, gratitude. Name something your partner does that's easy to overlook and thank them specifically. Day 7, review. Ask, what felt good this week? What 1 tweak would make next week gentler? Pocket phrases to keep nearby. Do you want comfort, curiosity, or solutions? This matters to me. Here's what would help. I'm flooded. I'll return at 7:45. Thank you for telling me. Here's what I'll change. A last whisper for the road. You are not hard to love. You are simply asking love to be clear steady and kind. Keep what helps you breathe. Release what doesn't.